by Paul Daley. Once again, we'll begin with a few questions from our media. Ed, your line is now live.
Hello, Mr. Daly. Ed Carbajal with MMAnews.com. Just one question from me. How do you, what's your assessment on your opponent here? He picked up a few wins, picked up a lot of steam, given your experience versus a guy that, his record is like a fraction of yours. I'm just wondering what your assessment is when you signed for this bout.
I've been matched with him before previously, so I wasn't aware before I was matched with him previously, but I'm quite I know about Jason Jackson, and he's a great guy, a good fighter, well-rounded, comes from a good team, nice clean straight punches, athletic. He's a decent fighter, and he's very much improved. That's my assessment of Jason Jackson.
But I'm just curious because he's upset. Like the win streak he's picked up was they're almost all like upsets. So I'm wondering if there's any concern on your part.
Not at all, because none of the guys have been anywhere near my ability or my experience at a high level. There's some good wins for the current crop of Bellator fighters and the up and comers, but Ben Henderson, he's only fought up and comers, if I'm correct. He's not fought a guy like me before, and even in those fights, he's winning by decisions and split decisions. And I take nothing away from him in those results and how he's won the fights, because he's won the fights, but he hasn't fought a guy like me.
Maria.
Hi, Paul. Maria Morales with Throwing Bows podcast. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
So just two quick ones from me. First and foremost, I think a lot of folks were surprised when you announced initially that you would be retiring, and then more so surprised when it was announced that you were coming out of retirement to face Jackson. Is this a permanent move? Will this be your last fight? Can we look forward to seeing you in the cage again, regardless of the result?
I think you'll see me again. I will defend the 175-pound belt on Friday. I will beat Jason Jackson, and then I'm going to move forward, and we'll see what Bellator has to offer me. The fact that I'm in here so quickly did help with the decision to continue in the sport of mixed martial arts. I'm happy I made the decision, because my ability and where I'm at, as far as my mental game and in my preparations and everything, is I'm just too good to quit right now.
Absolutely. And then the last one for me, with that decision, and obviously stating that we'll likely see you again, you're in the mix, right? You're in the top 10. There's a lot going on in this division right now. How or what would entice you to truly stick around and try to make a run for the belt?
Like I said, I'm already the champion. I'm the 175-pound champion. I'm defending my belt Friday. I'm just waiting for Scott to make me up a belt, and then I'll be collecting that. But the welterweight division looks interesting. I don't pay attention too much to anybody below Douglas Lima. He is the benchmark. He is, he's the king of the division, and so he should be. As one hell of a fighter, an extremely dangerous fighter. But yeah, as far as the welterweights, if I was looking at a fight, it would be for the title. Yeah.
Steve.
Hi, Paul. It's Steve from MMA Lowdown. So you're fighting a tough opponent in Jason Jackson. Now, we know he's in a good spot in the rankings at 170, and yourself at 175 pounds are pretty comfy. At this stage in your career, a win over Jackson could have gotten you closer to the belt. Are you looking to chase the title in the future, and someone you might consider post-fight, or is it all about exciting fights at this stage?
Well, like I said, I'm already the 175-pound champion. I'll be defending my belt Friday, and moving forward, if I drop back down and fight for the 170 belt, I think is deserving. I will knock Jason Jackson out on Friday, and we'll see what is laid ahead as far as what Bellator want to do with me. Whether they send me for a title dropping down in weight class, or I just reign for the duration of my contract as a 175-pound champion. We'll see.
It's a pleasure. Best of luck.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Mills.
Hey, how's it going? This is MMA Locker Room, part of Puff Sports Radio. I just want to say you're one of the best MMA strikers of all time. You fought the who's who in every single organization. But I actually want to see what's in your mind when you're walking out to that locker room, into that octagon. Like, are you ready to go out there and kill? Are you cool, calm, collective? Like, take us in the mind of Paul Daley.
Well, for the most part, you don't want to be in the mind of Paul Daley because just shit's scary in there. But you know, pre-fight, it's what I love to do. This is, you know, I'm detached emotionally. No matter what you see me portray pre-fight, I just love to do this. I'm on autopilot. I'm relaxed. I'm taking everything in. And you know, the last fight with no audience is what it's like in my head anyway. It didn't feel any different than a normal fight. I hear nothing but my corner, and I'm just locked in a cage with another guy that wants to do me harm. That is it. That is my mindset. I'm just 100% relaxed and ready to go.
Got it. And I got one more question. I'm a betting man myself, and I already got a play on you as the underdog on air. But if there's one other fighter that you think's gonna win on the card that I should parlay him with, who would you go with?
Probably Aiden Lee. You know, he's fighting a tough guy in Aaron Pico, but Aiden Lee is super sharp with those hands and those kicks and those knees. He's long, he's extremely athletic, in great shape. And yeah, I'd probably go with Aiden Lee for the upset.
Michael.
Hey, Paul. As mentioned before in this call, you were considering retirement alternative in your career. A deep fighter to be inside the MMA industry.
We had some issues there with your question. I don't know if you're able to type it up on screen. I didn't get all of it, but I heard it was something to do with retirement. And I'm just ready to fight on Friday. That is it. I'm ready to fight Friday, ready to entertain, ready to get the win. Take care of this guy. And
Andrew.
Hey, Paul, Andrew from Blue Collar Media Group. First and foremost, you're one of my favorite fighters, man. So this is pretty cool. First and foremost, I'm thankful you didn't retire because you're an explosive, amazing fighter. Now, you're talking about being the 175 champ, which, yeah, the title's definitely yours, my man. But do you see anything Jason Jackson brings to you that you could see maybe being a problem?
you know, he's good. I don't see any problems because the only problems I you know, that alarm me are dangerous problems. And I don't think he's a dangerous fighter. I think he's a very good fighter. He does everything well. He's in great shape. You know, he does have a fighter's heart, throws great straight punches, nice kicks, very athletic, but that is it. You gotta be dangerous. You know, I don't see him as being dangerous.
Mike.
Hey, Paul, I know everyone's asking about the retirement. I don't want to ask about the retirement. I want to ask about, to you, Paul Daley, what it means to be a fighter at your age, at this point in your career, to continue to add things that you want to check off your resume, things you want to continue to accomplish, and not talk about retirement anymore.
To be fair, I don't really the way I'm training, the way I'm performing. I forget my age, you know. It's not until it comes up on the tail of the tape, like I'm like, shit, I'm fucking old. But you know, I forget my age. The only motivation for me is to keep winning. I'm too good to quit. And just on the side of that is just collecting the paychecks and taking care of my family, which is obviously is an important part of being a professional athlete.
Last one here, Dylan.
Hey there, Paul. Appreciate you making the time.
No problem.
I'm just curious because, I mean, you're obviously preparing for defending your 175-pound championship here, but with Bellator's dynamic with Showtime here, I'm kind of curious, like, could we, you know, see Paul Daley cross over into the world of boxing? I feel like if people were to draft up a list of MMA fighters to do that, you would have pretty high prominence there.
I would love to box. Initially, probably against another MMA fighter who thinks that they can box because, you know, boxing is completely different. I said there's preparing for an MMA fight and boxing, and there's boxing. I've trained and sparred with WBC champions, undefeated up and comers, Commonwealth champions throughout my career, and boxing's different. But I'd love to box. I think I'm capable of holding my own against a decent level of boxing opponent. But give me a little warm up fight first.
Appreciate the time, Paul. Good luck on Friday.
The recording